Oh shit. Oh shit. Supposedly, apparently, Pedro Neto, ladies and gentlemen, all the latest, all the recent shenanigans online, Instagram, removing all sorts of Chelsea related information from his bio. It stems off from online abuse, online hate, social media hate, this hate trend towards Pedro Neto. We're going to talk about this. Big up to each and every one of you guys that is tuned in. Welcome back to the other side of the coin. If you already haven't smashed the like button, do so because you're here on a regular basis. You might as well just take care of business straight away. Hype the video, very, very important because it helps with the growth of the channel. We've got a lot of things to talk about. Pedro Neto's situation. We've got to talk about journalism at its peak. Journalists these days telling us Pedro Neto could very much be sold. Also, he could very much be staying at Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, really? So he could go or he could stay. What other options were there? This is the madness that we live in. This is the type of journalism that we thrive, that we desire for. This is what that gets fed to us and we lap it up. So we're going to talk about all of that and other bits and bobs that's been floating about. Let's kick things off from here. Pedro Neto, ladies and gentlemen, recently you would have seen that he's removed Chelsea from his bio on Instagram. I don't understand why a player goes through these type of phases at times. He is not the first player to do this. There have been multiple players. There have been many players prior who's taken the same route. Ultimately, what it does lead to is that the player's unhappy. He doesn't really like the fan base. And eventually enough, you get to see that the player has moved on. Now, let me make something clear. I like Pedro Neto, and I've made it very, very clear to all of you guys many a times. But I also understand that he doesn't give us enough going forward, which is a shame because when he was at Wolves, wow, my word, everyone wanted him. Everyone. So when we first got linked to him, and the deal happened quite quickly, if you guys remember, there wasn't a long, dragged transfer saga with Pedro Neto. One morning we woke up, Orny, who always makes us nice and horny, delivered the bomber that Neto is going to be, joining Chelsea Football Club. So since then, at that moment, we were all very, very excited that, we've got a very, very good baller. But quickly enough, we've realized Pedro Neto's limitation, basically. He's not technically, supremely gifted, right? He's okay, but I think he lacks a little bit of technicality when we come up against teams that want to sit back, teams that want to have a rigid and a very structural defensive structure, basically. And Pedro Neto, he seems to come undone, and he seems to only have he seems to be only a one-trick pony in those sort of scenarios where he receives the ball on the right and he's incapable most of the times to go past his man, and then what he ends up doing is cut back in and then deliver that cross, and his crossing is not that good enough as well. This season, look, I'm not going to lie, there's been instances where he's scored, there's been instances where he's provided assists, but overall it's not been enough. From a Chelsea perspective, it's not been enough. And if you look at all of our wingers, the wing options available, it's just not good enough at the highest level. And I think this is something that this season has portrayed to us. This season has showed all of us that is a lacking at Chelsea Football Club. So let's have a quick look at what Kieran Gill is suggesting might have been the issue in recent online shenanigans from Pedro Neto. One account with 400,000 followers even hopped on the hate trend. First of all, look, for players, this is a message for the players. In this modern age where social media is so prevalent, social media is so available, if you can't take online hate, and don't get me wrong, I'm not endorsing this. I don't like online hate, but you're gonna get that. You can't stop people. You can't police everyone. Social media is a place where it's honestly, it's a madness. People can say anything, do anything. They don't give a damn. You need to have a very, very thick skin for this era. era of social media. As a player, 20 years back, players didn't give a damn because you never saw all of this online. The online space wasn't that big 20 years back as it is now. Now, as a player, you have to understand that there will be people, there might even be a group that will hurl abuse, that will send hate. It's not nice. Of course, it's not nice, and I don't support it one bit. But you do need to understand that these people will never, ever go away. Every player out there, every individual out there cops hate, unfortunately. So you have to learn how to ignore it. If you think just because a 400K account hopped on the hate trend and now you're upset, now you're like, oh, do you know what? I hate this fan base. Then you've got a weak mentality, I'm sorry to say. Pedro Neto, if that's the case, that you're removing all Chelsea from your bio because one particular account or a group of accounts have irked you. No, that's not. I'm sorry, you're not going to survive in social media. Chelsea is such a football club. It's a big football club at the world stage with large fan base all across the world. You're going to get that. You're going to get criticism, especially when you don't perform well. Once again, I reiterate, I don't support all of this nonsense abuse, not for once. But I understand this is social media and it's going to happen. So Pedro Neto, either you grow up and, of course, focus on your football and start performing better, or this sort of nonsense will continue from fans out there. So, hopped on the hate trend by highlighting how Pedro Neto did not run to celebrate Palmer's hat-trick goal with him. Yeah, I know. I saw that clip. Seriously, Pedro Neto, you shouldn't be concerned about all of this stuff. A classic case of clickbait. They failed to mention the reason Neto chose to first embrace the defenders who had initiated the back-to-front team goal before joining the huddled group, as he did after Palmer's first 2 goals. I can't believe there's even an explanation for this. And this is the same journalist, Kieran Gill. He's doing a madness. So we all saw this. Now check this out. Look at this nonsense stuff that he wrote. Chelsea will have Kenda, Estevao, and Neto as right-wing options for next season. Yeah. Tick mark, you're right. They could choose to entertain offer from Neto in the next window. Okay, so that's an option. Or they may decide it is useful having his experience rather than leaving Quenta and Estevao to predominantly take care of their right wing. Oh, okay. He could go or he could stay. Oh, no shit, Sherlock. Those are the 2 options that's available. This is what I mean, man. This is journalism in 2026. And people are reading this going, yeah. He could leave or he could stay. Estevao will have a year experience in England by then. So look, me personally, I think this might be Pedro Neto's last season. I think Chelsea Football Club in the summer, we do need to revamp a bit. The wing spot, we've already got Estevao, we've got Kenda. I don't know what the future is for Garnacho and Gittins. Honestly, I'd get rid of both of them. But I feel like Pedro Neto, as much as I wouldn't mind keeping him as a squad player, I think there's a lot of quality in keeping someone like Pedro Neto as a squad player. But overall, we do need more output. At the same time, not compromising on the off-the-ball work rate that Pedro Neto gives. So we'll see. I feel like this might be, by the end of this season, might be the perfect opportunity to get rid of Pedro Neto and receiving some level of money. And I think Saudis might be very interested, and I feel Pedro Neto might fancy that. Quite a lot of Portuguese players they've gone to Saudi Arabia and they are still in Saudi Arabia. Pedro Neto could potentially fancy that. So let's see what happens there. Let me know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, about the online hate trend. I mean, do you think this is a valid reason for Pedro Neto to do whatever he did on social media by removing Chelsea from his bio on Instagram? Let me know your thoughts about all of that. Now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Chelsea, Liverpool, and Madrid have all sent scouts to watch Eli Jr. Kroupi. Bournemouth insiders believe Junior Kroupi could become the club's first ever 80 million player. I mean, coming from Rahman Osman, whether this is true or not, you have to start thinking it probably is, because this is the type of business. These are the type of players that our clubs love. This is the project, project at its epitome. Absolute proper project candidate, Junior Kroupi. I watch a bit of Bournemouth. I'm not going to lie. He's a good player. But really? 80 million? Football's gone mad, man. Honestly. Whatever nonsense is happening right now with young project for the future, it's just... I hate it. I know Brighton, the Ajaxes, the Dortmunds, all of those teams, they've done this nonsense, right? But we are the ones to be blamed for, because we've taken this nonsense and we've done it in an astronomical manner. We've done all of these Brighton, Ajax, Dortmund nonsense in steroids, basically. And I blame us. We're the ones who have really ignited this young, youthful project to a different level. Sure, every now and then someone might work out, but it's not going to happen all the time. I need experience, man. I need experience at the highest level. I don't want just experience for the sake of experience. It could be a young player with a lot of experience. I don't mind that either. But experience meaning you've played Champions League, you've won stuff. You've played in the Premier League at the highest level, and you've won stuff. I need that type of player to come in and help us out. We've got a lot of kids. We've got Esteval. We've got, we're going to get Quenda next season. Oh, I don't need more kids. Junior Kroupi, Bournemouth. Like, as I said, not every one of these players are going to work out, man. After Junior Kroupi is going to be another one. Ryan or whoever it is, new one that Bournemouth's bought. He's going to go for a large amount of money. We need to stop. We need to stop this. And honestly, all of this, look at this, Chelsea, Liverpool, Madrid, others have this. We don't need it. We really don't need it. But it's a player that fits the bill. Young, probably not going to be on big wages. Yes, might be on a high transfer fee, but the small wages will compensate for that. And being young will also compensate. So watch this space. I wouldn't put it past it. The other one that I might even throw out there is the Brentford player, Sade or Skade or however you pronounce his name. Don't get surprised. He might be on the list as well, because that's what Chelsea Football Club does. Next up, this is very interesting. Maurizio Pochettino on Cole Palmer. This is very, very interesting. Check this out. Cole Palmer's mentality. After a few training sessions, he came to my office. Coach, from the players you've had that play in my position, I think I need to do a bit more because I didn't do much at Manchester City. What do you think? I looked at Jesus Perez and I said, the desire is top. Just arrived after a few sessions. Because of the demand on a player in that position, he is a player with the intelligence to want to do everything. Then he further goes on to say, because remember, Cole Palmer, his best time at Chelsea Football Club was under Pochettino. Then he goes on to say, with Cole Palmer, you cannot say move from here to there. That is your movement and it's mechanical. No. Of course, it has to be mechanical in some aspects of the game when you don't have the ball. Of course, I agree. But after, it is your quality and your capacity to understand the game. What is the demand of the game, the situation, your intuition, the capacity to see a space, arrive or to dribble and shoot. We are not going to cut this potential. This is why football is so emotional, because a player like him has the capacity to create that emotion that makes people go crazy. And not that long ago, we saw Cole Palmer say he's feeling amazing. He loves the freedom under Liam Rossignol. And now I'm fully convinced that Cole Palmer, off the back of what Pochettino has said as well, off the back of what Cole Palmer kind of has alluded, very much convinced that he didn't really like his time under Enzo Maresca because it was too methodical. It was too mechanical. Pochettino has mentioned, yeah, there's some level of mechanics. When you're off the ball, you have to have some level of, discipline and a movement pattern. But when you're on the ball, players like Cole Palmer, let the instincts just take over. You're a quality player. You'll find a way. Let that take over. And I think he's appreciating that under Liam Rossignol again. Very, very big game coming up against Leeds. Cole Palmer is available, and I expect him to start. And I expect us to do well against Leeds. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. I think I'm now fully convinced that Cole Palmer is starting to feel more comfortable again. Hopefully that means we're going to have a lot of positive result and we're going to see quality back from Cole Palmer again. Smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time, everyone, take care. See ya.